Go ahead, we'll take another question from the broadcast.
Hi, Weola. I have a question about our cells and how you said they're always coming into balance. And I'm curious, are they coming into balance with themselves, or are they coming into balance with my beliefs?
They are at all times balanced out one way or another. They're moving. As they're part of your physicality, they're constantly moving. As you are constantly moving, as that you're never really fully steady in a place where you're so still and not moving for a single moment. Some of your cells are constantly at some movement. So as your cells are so beautifully orchestrated within you, you see your cells are also liking interaction. They're collaborating with you. This collaboration between you and your cells is like collaboration between you and another focused person. It's easier for you to see and feel collaboration or mutuality or interaction or your communication with someone else, but it's exactly the same thing. You can have the same mutuality with your thought. You can have the same mutuality with the belief, with the vision that you're receiving, with the tree that you're observing, with the person that you're communicating, with this furniture piece or a purchase that you just made. So all of that is the same thing. All of that is the same process about feedback that comes to you. So as you're interacting with the cells, you can see with them how's it going. You cannot hold cells in a way, you cannot control yourself, cells in a way where you're directing the whole thing for the cells. It's a mutuality about this beautiful dance together. And for as long as it's comfortable for you to be part of those cells, and for as long as it's comfortable for cells to be part of you, that mutuality, that balance between is happening. And therefore, that mutuality is happening so much so, and sometimes there is movement about it. Some of the cells are not part of you. Some of the cells move on. But you see, the transfer that you're having through everything that exists part of you, through all the particles of the universe, you're already doing that alchemy that you're experiencing, that often people are talking about the variety of thoughts traveling, about people connecting this way or that way. You are changing, you are experiencing you, evolving you, while your physicality is also completely changing. And sometimes your body gets to be so different. Sometimes your body feels easy, sometimes not so easy. Sometimes in the balance of that, you feel more and more excitement to move. But mutuality of that is together. Your thought, your feeling, your emotion, your satisfaction, your ease, your blendedness, your what you call non-physical and physical, everything that exists and focused, your focused and unfocused experience is always mutual in nature. Mutuality of nature is what brings that balance that you're so always eagerly looking to clarify more and more. Talk more about that there is something more there for you.
Well, I don't normally drink caffeine at all, and I don't normally eat chocolate, but we were talking on the broadcast on Friday, or the first night, chocolate came up. I was like, oh, I really fancy some chocolate, and I was feeling quite tired, and I thought that would keep me awake for the second broadcast, and I went and ate bar of chocolate, which I don't normally do, and it was really nice, and I was then really awake for half the night, and then the next day I felt really tired, not my best because I was tired, and then last night's broadcast, and I don't normally even feel like chocolate, but last night, because it had been so pleasurable the night before, I was like, oh, I'll have more chocolate. So I did the same thing again, was awake even later. So today I felt even more tired. And since I've come up here tonight, I keep thinking, I want more chocolate.
So you are having these experiences, you have this complex relationship. This is an excellent conversation to have. Excellent conversation in which sense? You have this very complex relationship of certain beliefs about what chocolate gives you based off of the moment that you're in. And you can choose that and you can tweak that and navigate it in whichever way makes sense to you. So as you have the inspiration or you've heard it or something checked it within you, you were not thinking about the consequence, you have this satisfaction about it, and then after you ate the chocolate, you started thinking about those contexts. What can that give you? that sugar rush that can give you so you cannot sleep, that caffeine rush that can give you so you cannot sleep. You see, you're choosing those two. You're choosing the context in which what you take resonates with you. You're constantly making those choices. So you have an option. You have an option to go and have something within you, and it seems that the moment of having or enjoying the chocolate, you're having a great time. You're feeling great, you're feeling energized, you're feeling easy. So at that moment, your beliefs are fully matching everything. You're getting this beautiful experience, this beautiful blended experience, and in this collaboration with the chocolate, with those beautiful cells of chocolate, they also want to have fun with you and have this beautiful experience of mutuality and satisfaction, because as you're satisfied, the chocolate cells are satisfied too, and as chocolate cells become part of you and give you a certain amount of pleasure, and then the context about that does not have to dissipate. So that place, as we talk, and it seems to be the theme, and we know we in a way started it from everything that's been talked about a few days ago. That's what's been sensed here in a conversation, that you have found something as an inspiration. You have found something to keep you a little bit awake. The chocolate will keep you awake. In other words, you had a question, you found a tool, and then you found an answer. This answer was this blissful, funny, energized, really alert place state of being. And then based off of that ease, that steadiness that you have on that end, you have not found yet this other part, other tipping point. You allowed that steadiness to move into the question, in other words, to go into whatever context was most dominant, which is there is a consequence to chocolate. That consequence to chocolate was not active. Actually, you did not use the consequence of chocolate to choose it to feel better, to feel fuller, to feel more satisfied. You use this beautiful side of relationship with chocolate to get you to the place of ease. Now, from the place of ease, rushing to give your attention to something else, and we understand that happens, especially after broadcasts like this. Friends yesterday could not even keep their focus during the dinner based off of this build-up that's been happening in your understanding. You're finding this new balance, this new place of steadiness where you can ask questions, where those questions that are asked are not feeling so rigid within you, so stuck within you, but they're moving and moving and moving. In other words, we understand, but that's why today, at the last day of this beautiful gathering, of this few days, we want to direct your attention in the other side of it. The other side of it being that part of a tipping point. How do you get to ask the question after you've been so blissful, so easy, so answery, so sourcey, so divine, so godlike, so everything that exists dominantly? How do you direct it into the next question? So whatever topic that came after that is something that can throw you off. In other words, you can go by the habit, or you can really, as our friend earlier was saying, be tender about it, be soft about it, be easy about it, and move it in that direction of next question, knowing I know I will have some questions about chocolate. I know that there will be some context coming from chocolate, but I see the value of it right now. I see this blissful experience that I got to not because of using chocolate, but because collaborating with chocolate. There is a big difference in using the chocolate as a tool to get into the blissful state and collaborating with chocolate on your way to blissful state. There is a huge difference in that, and then using that experience to move into the place of the next question. What will be the next question? It might even be on chocolate. It might be on the world affairs. It might be on health. It might be about pandemic. It might be about people I know. It might be about beautiful music. It might be about going easy and what to do next in terms of technical steps before I go to sleep. So these conversations you can choose. Those conversations do not have to go immediately. Where did this chocolate go? Did it hit so much that I will not sleep because that's the contest I've known so much? Or it's gonna go into my thighs or into my bottom or into my love handles? All of those experiences you're choosing, all these conversations you're choosing. So as you see that on one side you've chosen ease of chocolate to get you into the place of ease. In other words, you've chosen that to be the tool to unfocus you into the place of ease. And then you choose also what will be the next question. So you being easy, you being tender, you being soft, you being delicate, you being actually conscious, and you being really purposeful about choosing what is the next question. What is the next door of the next question that you're ready to open up. That is really what this conversation is about.
And for me, the next door was worrying. Well, I didn't use it positively because I went into the worrying.
We understand. We understand, and that's why we offered you all of these words. Because worry came from you, not because of the worry about the chocolate, because the worry needs to be there, not even because of the habit of thoughts of the worry that you have about anything that's active. It came just because from the place of ease, you did not develop yet this muscle of directing your next question. You did not develop yet this muscle of directing the tipping point when you are ready for the next question. So the next time you feel easy, blissful, regardless how you got into that state, you want to be easy about that, knowing I understand that this place of ease is so satisfying. I also understand for as long as I'm physically focused in this or every other physical iteration, I will always have the next question and the next question. So now knowing I can choose, I can still be unfocused, easy, loving, maybe even go directly to fall asleep without giving my attention to anything. Maybe that will get me there right away. Oftentimes that will get you there because the sleep is closest you get to be unfocused after you have some such blissful experiences. But also, if you're in the middle of the day, if you're in the middle of the conversation, if you want to go and watch your favorite show, if you want to do a couple of other things that require your focus, you also want to be easy and say to yourself, I know I will direct attention to something. And I know that may cause even discomfort. I know that most likely will cause discomfort because after this place of beautiful ease, satisfaction, blissfulness, I know that I don't want to move around or skip that step. I know I cannot skip that step because then I cannot find the new blissful experience and the new blissful experience. But I also know that I can softly guide it, that I can guide it with such precision that I choose, that I anticipate that this movement from the answer to the question is guided by me and that it's of my choosing. And then once I know that I have chosen to focus while being blissful, then chose to focus after being blissful to chose and focus, I know that I am then choosing exactly what that question will be. And therefore, when I know that I'm choosing, I know that worry and fear will dissipate. That will be softer. It will not feel like a worry. It will not feel like something that is even guilt, that something that it's even bothering. That something will be so soft in a vibration of question that I will then go and maybe even go for some more chocolate if that worrying goes and becomes too active. But I also know that that's natural. That movement of asking the question and answer, it's so natural that I'm so excited to go and ask the next question. The only time you can rush into worry, the only time you can rush into fear about something that was so satisfying to you not to be of benefit to you, is when you do not keep those reins in your hands. And you at all time have that choice.
Okay. So there's a bit that I'm missing because I was feeling like that my body didn't like it. I felt like I was doing something bad to I'd done
When did that feel?
adrenals.
When did that feel? Did that feel at the moment of satisfaction while you were eating chocolate? Or did that feel after you finished consuming chocolate?
The next day.
The next day, it's a long time. The next day is
Yeah.
a long time. This is what we're talking, the context of that next day. We want you to think about the moment of eating the chocolate. At that moment, you were blissful. At that moment, you were satisfied. And then you found an excellent way to delay even until the next morning to think about guilt and about worry and about the fear of what this has done to you. Which means you're already halfway there. You're already halfway there in finding something next that's easy for you to focus around. And then the next day is something for you to start, something along the lines of, I know that I've had some things, I know that I have some context, I know that I always have contexts that are steady. And some of those contexts are steady and will give me ease, and some of those contexts are steady and will not. I know I have some thoughts about how chocolate affects you, and I know that usually shows up the day after. I know that I've been active in my thought over time about context, about chocolate not affecting you so good, and I know that it's my choice to see it. But I will remember how it felt when I had it, and I will also believe, I will also look into this brilliant body of mine who will always figure it out. So I will choose what is the next chocolate context I'm choosing at this moment. We have said chocolate so many times. You ought to have definitely some more right now after so many repetition of that word.
So I'm going to go and practice right now. Thank you so much.
Really, really excellent conversation.